Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Gold, and here we are, NPL Week 1 against Richard. So, looking at Richard's team, he has a huge threat in Talonflame. And his Gallade could be a problem because I don't have much for it. So, yeah, anyways, this is a post-com. So, we already had this battle about a week ago. Um, yeah, and I could tell from the preview that the Sableye is going to be a huge problem. Anyways, leading off, I lead off with my Klefki. He Mega Evolves and goes for the Flamethrower. Um, I didn't expect Flamethrower on his Absol, but my safest switch would probably be, I think I go into Melodic here to take another Flamethrower if he goes for it. But let's see what happens because I actually don't remember. I take a while here on this turn because I want to know I want to do well in this battle because I know how much of a good battler Richard is. So yeah, I go into Melodic. I take 26%, I think that is. So I right now he could go into Jolteon, and Ice Beam isn't gonna do much of anything. So Scald, sorry. But I'm just gonna calculate real quick here. So once I get off the screen. Okay, so I just go for the safe Dragon Tail to not, or I should go. I believe I went for the safe Dragon Tail, but I missed, unfortunately. In this battle, there's some hacks. There's some high rolls, some low rolls, but it really, in the end, it really didn't matter. But here's a misplay. I should have went for the Dragon Tail or the Scald. I should have went for the Scald there, broke the sub, and then went for another Scald because he sets up a Dragon Dance here. And my safest play was to go for Haze here because I did break the sub. But so then he is now only +2, but he can safely set up another Swords Dance here. So I go for the safe Haze, and I believe I go for the Haze here again. Hoping that I don't get knocked out by this high roll. So yeah, he would have had no stats, but my Melodic would have been alive. I could have went into my Thunder safely and clicked T-Bolt. And I know I should have done that, and it shouldn't have killed. But he still would have got the safe Swords Dance up on the Switch. So I don't know why I went for the move I did go for, because this does 50%. And I know I could obviously go into Weavile and click moves, but I didn't believe that it was my safest switch. Like, I could go for knockoff here, but Justified is a thing on these Mons, and I'm not sure. I think knockoff does a lot less than Thunderbolt to this thing, and Focus Blast does nowhere near. But I believe I was fearing the Jolteon because the Thunderbolt was blatantly obvious, and T-Bolt does do 70%, and if I got a crit, I believe this Oko's from the range she's at. But the play I went for was T-Bolt, or was Focus Blast, because I'm dumb. And knockoff doesn't do anywhere close to what I wanted it to. But I should have went for knockoff in hindsight, because even like if I crit, it does 55%. And I just checked my EVs here just to be sure that it was what I thought it was. And Yeah, I go for the Focus Blast, being the dumb person that I am. And as you'll see here, after I calc some more, because I don't even know why. I think I calc to see how much a +2 CC would do to me. But, I believe it's still Oko's. So, either way, I should have went for the safe T-Bolt. Or possibly, like, killed with the EVs that I had, but, I go for the Focus Blast, or I believe, or the knockoff, something like that, and it doesn't do anything close to what I wanted it to. So, I go into, I I shouldn't have gone for the Focus Blast here. I'm kicking myself in the ass for doing it. And I'm pretty sure it did cost me the game right then and there because my Thunders does go down. It does die to this Gallade, which it should not have. I could have easily went, yeah, like, it doesn't go down to the Gallade, but it goes down later to something. I think it goes down to a Specs HP Ice, or Scarf HP Ice from that Jolteon. But, I should have just went for the T-Bolt first turn, got off a bunch of damage, and then went into my, Weavile and Quick Ice Shard. It was the simplest play that I failed to make, and, which ended up, I take huge damage here. I don't die to this Shadow Sneak because I am a bulky Dawn fan, but, I really should have went for the, Thunderbolt first turn. That is a huge misplay on my part, and I hope anyone who's watching this that is new to battling realizes that, or learns from my mistakes, and I will learn from my mistakes and do better next week. But yeah, so it is 5-5 at this point, but I have two Mons at like 10% each, which is not good for me. So, right here, I go for, or he goes into vape. No, I think he goes into his Sableye, to put pressure on me. I have 6 tabs open, all of them for my different, oh no, he goes into the Vaporeon. I believe I just went for EQ because I didn't want any damage coming out on my end, and I should not. Yeah, I shouldn't have went into that to let it die. I should have stayed in, let Donphan die. It wasn't much help to me anyways. So I go into this. I tried to bait the Ice Beam, I believe, but he is a good player, and yeah, doesn't fall for the bait. I don't believe. Wouldn't go away, and it really annoyed me, so I had to open it and close it real quick. But I believe I just go for Spikes here and let my Key die. And at this point, I could tell that I should have kept my Thunders. I should have kept it. Misplaying around that Gallade really cost me the game in the end, and spoiler alert, I do lose. I should have assessed the threat that was on the field and not played around it, which was my biggest misplay at this point. And yeah, I go into my Weavile here, I believe, hoping that an Ice Shard will kill at this range. I don't believe it does, but, or I go for the Ice Crash, because he did go for a Shadow Ball, and just to be sure, I looked up that I did resist Ghost, which I do. So, yeah. And I could have just clicked Knockoff here instead of Ice Crash, because Knockoff does more to a Sableye, but doesn't do more to a full health Mega Absol, which Weavile does pick up the KO, which is one of the only few knockouts in this game. And I hazard stacked, which was kind of my main focus, but as you see, he only takes 25%. So this is where it really sealed up the game, because I did have to go into my Salamence here because I didn't want my Weavile burned. I should have really stayed in with Weavile because I believe that a burned knockoff still does more than a burned D-Rush from a Salamence. But my only chance, I thought my only chance here was going into Salamence because my only two Mons were special attackers. But at this point, I just needed to get off damage, and which ended up. This is another misplay that I could have prevented by just staying in with Weavile, because Salamence, once it sets up, it does, and like once it sets up a Dragon Dance, it still outspeeds, or after 2 Dragon Dances, I believe it's outspeeds a Scarfed Jolteon. And it does take a Brave Bird from a Talonflame when it's banded, and kills. And then it would have been a one-on-one with my Salamence versus the Vaporeon, and I would have won. Or I could have won if he didn't pack Ice Beam, which I assume he did. But this is really where it ended the game, because of this was another big misplay. I really regret going into my Salamence here because of what it was kind of my win condition at that point, which I thought Weavile was, but it wasn't, because Weavile dies to a Brave Bird from it dies to a Brave Bird from Talonflame. And this is really where it sealed up the game, but I do get one final KO onto the Jolteon with my Weavile, which I should have, in hindsight, when I had my Salamence, I should have switched out. In all honesty, I should have switched out into my Weavile, predicting the Jolteon, and going for the Ice Shard the following turn and killing it. And then I could have, in theory, set up with my Salamence and done the work. But me being the dumbass that I am, stayed in and let my Salamence die to the Jolteon. And at this point, it's over. I can't do any damage. I have to click Icicle Crash here. And, but, yeah, a burned Ice Crash doesn't do nearly enough to kill it. This Ice Crash, if he missed the Willow, I still had, like, a 10% chance to win. But, at this point, he saves the differential, and goes into this, which would have been to hit KO'd, I believe, by knockoff. So yeah, GG to Richard. It was a great game. It's a 3-0 in his favor, and the Seattle Seadras start off the season 0-1, -3 differential. And if I didn't misplay, I had a chance of winning sheerly because of team matchup. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.